Welcome back to another episode of Boys Gone Wild. The door, which has been rotting for the last, I don't know, I guess 2-3 months. For the whole winter, it was rotting away. It's now half fixed, so we've got two lovely new doors. However, the finishing touches are not in, i.e. a handle or any sort of bar to lock it into place. So even though the doors are lovely and new, they are currently wide open. There is a breeze blowing in. This shed at times feels like a ship's gone down and we are clinging to a sort of... It feels like we're floating on a giant door, waiting for survival. It always... You fix one thing about this room and another thing pops out, You clean the window, your dick falls out.
Yes. It can be difficult to live in this shed at times, at the best of times. 1 second.
Vâng, có thể rất khó để sống trong nhà kho này vào những thời điểm tốt nhất.
Wow.
That was Vietnamese.
That's pretty good.
I feel like the translate, people have been waiting for that, have they not?
Yeah.
And it's just been a silent drop. Like, oh, you can do that now. Wasn't it going to be like a miracle cure for everything in traveling when you could just say something into a phone and then it immediately translated for you and they could hear it?
Are you potentially saying that what people really liked was complaining about not being able to translate stuff? Maybe that was the...
Maybe. There could be that. What I'm confused about is that should be like, I want news headlines. That's a fucking BBC push notification.
Yeah.
We've done it. Congratulations. Because when I'm going abroad, I didn't know that was a thing.
Who made it, Americans come up with this technology.
Like the AI race.
Yeah. Xi Jinping, head in hands.
Yeah.
As translation battle.
Trump is triumphant in winning the war of the translator apps. But do you know what I mean? Like, so I've just, whilst waiting to be set up, I just got that on my phone and it was like, oh, well, it works perfectly. I mean, I can't speak the other language, so I don't know.
Do you think, you must get to a point where you can be a successful kind of, I don't know, like an expat in another country and you can build a relationship via...
Yeah.
Would you be able to have like a girlfriend relationship via computerized AI?
You need a more immediate feedback than into the phone.
But surely this is just the first domino.
This
I'm talking 30 years time, brother.
Yeah, hopefully. But I'm saying is I'm happy with where we are now.
You don't want it to go any further?
I do. Look, I want to celebrate.
You've got to dream bigger, brother.
I kind of want to celebrate this win. I feel like this win for humanity where we can speak.
I'm going too fast. We need to...
Slow down. Appreciate where we are for a second.
Yeah.
We have been at, we've got to a place in technology. You can say something in one language and it translates it immediately to the other.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Well, I do think in general, a way to deal with the stresses of technology as we hurtle towards a Blade Runner 2049 future, right?
Yeah.
Is you got all the cons, celebrate the pros for what they are.
I gun.
Yeah. That came out in a period where social media was dominating young people's brains and arguably causing... that was the pro. And the con was that maybe...
No, we can't talk to each other. And we prefer to be alone.
So celebrate the pros.
Yeah. But we can. It does look like you're drinking a beer, even though you're not. I'm not going to get it out because I've got I got an eye beer.
I think we spent 45 minutes on it last time.
Yeah, easy. The seasons have changed. Here we are. Is this an official season change? Are you?
I guess so,
are you calling it?
My birthday, I'd say, is kind of around as when the season.
It's always about you, isn't it?
It is about me, actually.
My birthday. So this is what, spring?
Spring
is sprung.
Yeah.
I'm wearing shorts.
Are you getting a bit gayer for the seasons as you go older?
Yeah, now look, you've had your power time. Now your little gay season's over. It's time for the fucking chads to come out. It's time for the big summer boys. You
didn't even know what seasons were.
Too right, but I felt better in one of them.
You thought it was just on and
now
off.
Now the sun's out, your power is diminished and it's my time. It's time for guys with big tits and big cocks to come out. Beers in the park. Frolicking, etc.
Do you think you're powerful in the summer? Is that you?
I'm definitely more powerful when the sun's out.
Right.
There's a bleakness to the darkness. I don't mind the temperature.
Right.
I don't mind the clothing choices.
Right.
Even though I do feel a bit less powerful wearing like a turtleneck jumper than I do in these cargo shorts.
Interesting.
Something's come out now. I'm like, my knees are out.
Right.
Here we fucking go, boys. Yeah. Buckle up. It's time to fuck.
Yeah. Beer garden. In London, there's nowhere else I'd rather be, to be honest. Why would I go anywhere else for 3 months?
No.
You think, well, this is brilliant. Why are all my problems?
Not like the valleys of Vietnam or anything.
Then your problems come back.
They come back
hot with a vengeance.
They do, yeah. Christmas is around the corner. Hate that. But no, I feel powerful. I'm ready to go. It's time for the Chads to come out.
You saw a nice little sign on the coffee shop right here.
Get it up, Charlie. On
So this
the way
is a coffee
down.
shop that I'm drinking from.
How dare you patronise those fucking cunts? Look.
Right.
I can abide by quirky millennial coffee signs.
Right.
I can abide by I don't like them. For instance, fuck offy can get fucked itself.
Right, okay.
I think it's disgraceful.
There might be a fuck offy opening right next to this one. It might be on Roman Road.
It's horrible news.
Yeah.
It's
Fuck
disgraceful.
off, you might have to pass fuck offy every
It just makes me angry every time. I'm like, why can't we have nice names for things?
Fuck offy.
Fuck offy. What point are you making? It's so stupid. And all of this, there's a fine line between too quirky and too, trying to be edgy.
Yeah, too twee.
But you're a coffee shop.
Fuck offy.
You're selling, mochachinos. You can't. Yeah, fuck offy. No. No, it's not fuck offy. It's all the same people sat out there reading a book, having a cappuccino.
It's come inny.
It's come inny.
It's come offy.
Come inny. It's not fuck offy. Anyway, egg slut, it's in the same thing. Shut up.
Egg slut,
Shut up.
Yeah.
Shut up and make a good name.
Yeah.
Anyway, in the same place that is, the fun little signs, the half jokes that are like, oh, it's like coffee here. That's not a good one.
Corporate japes.
Yeah. It's like, the signs you get out there. Everyone knows them. It happens with beer as well. It's like, beer that way, not beer.
Yeah.
Fuck off, all right?
Or they'll have or they'll have a really
Fuck off
shit
and leave
joke.
me alone. It's like graffiti on the side of the road that's just awful and it shouldn't be allowed, essentially. But this one takes the fucking mustard. This one, for people who are listening, it's coffee diversion with an arrow in the style of a genuine road sign. Now, I hope a car crashes into that fucking cafe, mistaking it for a genuine diversion, because that attracted you. It's like what it is. It's like one of those adverts on your laptop. If you're on Channel 4, that if you click off the tab,
Hot
the
mums
advert
in your area.
Yeah, it's like one of those everyone gets. Goth anime girls, big tits.
Ugly women need to get fucked too.
Yeah.
Do you get those?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
I love those ones. Because it's such a genius, the psychology of advertising they've reached with ugly women need to get fucked too.
The bottom of the gene pool for the men who are just like, well, I guess I can get a fuck
Well, it's for people who have been tricked once. How are they going to get tricked again? If you've been tricked by a hot MILF in your area,
oh right, so
and you clicked on it,
yeah,
and there was no hot MILFs, and you're like, I should have known that's too good.
She's
to be
too
true.
good looking. Oh, this is an ugly.
And then
girl.
and then it's ugly women, and it's like, to be honest, it's a lot more plausible.
Yeah,
it's a lot more plausible that ugly women who need to get
sending
fucked,
push notifications or taking out paid advertisements on Pornhub.
Yeah, because they're so desperate because they need to get fucked, but they're ugly.
Yeah, so
they're like, literally, I'm so horny and ugly.
I'm gonna take out a paid advertisement.
I will happily have anyone.
Just please message me.
I remember I saw that when I was 14 and I remember thinking that is brilliant.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
That is absolutely brilliant.
Wow. We've taken a diversion from the coffee diversion.
Sorry.
What? Yeah. That sign is akin to the ads.
But you're saying that it's like a genuine health and safety.
What? No. I'll get that. And that's one of my genuine points as well. Once you're crossing health and safety, that is a fucking line. You will keep going and you won't realize it until you're too late.
Yeah.
What the problem is with that, it's like one of the ads on Channel 4 where you have to go off the tab. If you go off the tab, the ad stops. So you have to go back on it to let it run all the time. It drew my attention too much because I thought there was a genuine issue with the footpath. There is not a genuine issue with that footpath. They are saying, oh, he wants a coffee, coffee diversion. Fuck off. I feel like we could fuck offy. I feel like we could report them to the council. I don't think that's legal.
Yeah.
And I think that is obscene and it's gone too far. That's my thing on it. What do you think about it?
Yeah, I find coffee diversion is less cringe than most of them. It's a bit more fun.
It's a bit more to the point.
Yeah. It's also a bit more creative.
Yep.
Dare I say.
Yep, it's true.
And the fact that it's quite a genuine diversion sign is, that's
it adds to the piece.
Yeah.
I haven't got a problem with the piece.
I do think it's funny, the idea that someone gets tricked. The idea that someone is genuinely drawn to it as diversion and then they get lampooned.
They think the footpath ahead is closed. And then they end up buying a...
To be honest, I do agree with everything you said, but that one is not a bad one because even if it's pissing people off, it's quite funny. Going, oh no, for fuck's sake, I've been tricked.
Well, it would show like the biggest sheep in the world. If they're like walking, oh God, there's a diversion, I better go. Oh, coffee diversion, oh God, I better buy a coffee then. Oh, the footpath ahead must be closed, so yeah, I guess I got to buy a coffee.
Oh yeah, his footpath's closed, so you need to
buy the coffee. But the footpath isn't closed. I guess it's just I've not seen it before, but I guess if the government are saying it, I better go and buy a cappuccino.
Keir Starmer's, the Rachel Reeves' new budget, I guess.
Yeah, eat out to help out. It must be one of those kind of things. Coffee version. Right, yeah, here's my money. And off I go. Well, I didn't really want this coffee, but off I go. No.
Gives me immense anxiety having caffeine, but yeah, I guess here we go.
Yeah. About to have a panic attack because of the coffee version, but that's okay. It's got to do what the government says, you know?
Now, how much because it's used so much and they're so collectively viewed as cringe, these beer signs, you know, they must do something, you know.
Of course they do.
It must show quite considerable results, right?
It's true because the only one I can think of is this way beer, that way no beer, right?
That's the only one you can think of, or you mean just off the top of your head?
Seeing, fine. And if I'm honest, if I'm out shopping, right, I'm out on a nice day doing some errands, and I see that sign, I'm like, that is true. I could just go in for a beer. If I can continue my shopping without one beer, or I could go and have a beer.
Yeah.
So there's something in it.
I just think they should be more matter of fact. Because I think beer is a pretty good selling point. You've already got a pretty
just beer.
You don't have to do a lot of.
Yeah, you've got what the public wants.
Yeah, exactly. So I like the cold beer here.
Cold beer here.
That's kind of enough. Or show someone from the 50s, a handsome man from the 50s enjoying a cold beer and make me think that could be me.
Or show someone with a group of friends having a great time having a beer. Because that's not only fulfilling your need for alcohol, but also connection.
But if you're on your own and you want a cold beer...
Maybe you can meet a friend at the pub, Horatio. Ever heard of talking to strangers?
Well, that would be a good one.
Ever heard of talking to strangers?
No. I mean, as opposed to you know, a kind of this idealized view of friends where it's like, oh, these guys have had friends for ages.
This idealized view of friends.
No, but I mean, like a picture of them all like, it's like, oh God, they probably went to school together. They feel so comfortable.
I'll never penetrate that friendship group. This imaginary friendship group on this beer sign.
Instead, you implied that you could make a friend in here. So maybe
how are we doing that?
So someone's at the bar and then they kind of look down at another person. There's a seat in between.
Thumbs up.
Yeah.
Oh, come over.
And you know what? And one of them's black.
Wow. Wow. What's the other one?
Black as well. It's a black pub. No whites allowed.
Black. Wow.
No, it's white and black. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Not into
that. So what you do is you have two stalls that are just like on the left and right third of the image, and then one of them's gesturing over to the other one. And the other one is getting up to move seats. And in the middle, there's a bartender who's putting 2 beers down for both of them in their new seats.
Okay, yeah, that's good.
That's how we do that. And then, does
it jump out? But it could stop you. There's cold beer, new friend? ?
Don't hate it. Don't hate it. Cold beer, new friend ?
In the bar, we're all friends.
No, you lost.
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
Buy a beer. Stay for the beer.
Yeah.
Leave with a friend. No.
Yeah.
Come for the beer. Stay for the pal.
Now, have a beer, you're queer. How's that?
You see, that's good. But we'd have to change the image.
No, because obviously there'd be a lot of negative press about it. But that I would stop and I would find
have
it
a beer, you're queer. I'll be like, fine.
Because they're always so kind of cutesy. It's quite funny. And like an angry man pointing at you. Have a beer, you queer. What about even ugly women need to get fucked? And it's like it's an ugly woman drinking a beer.
Yeah, like an 18th century fat lady just drinking and then getting fucked as well at the bar. There you go. Even ugly. Yeah. Let's take the porn ads into the external pub ads.
Yeah. I don't understand why they haven't made use of, you know how like there's the ABBA hologram show?
Yeah.
That's
apparently,
available in Stratford.
Apparently, it's absolutely incredible.
So why they haven't made use of that with so like for coffee, you have like a crying, really tired hologram of a man on the street.
Yeah,
and he's hitting the floor,
tugging himself off.
He's punching the floor because he hasn't had his morning coffee.
Yeah,
but if you did it in hologram form,
you had to resolve it. Though.
Yeah,
be
quite striking. Question.
No, you had to resolve this hologram.
He never gets his coffee, but it reminds you that you should have yours.
No, because I think you're walking past a coffee shop and then there's this hologram. There's just this guy going,
I'm not going in there. It's a really realistic hologram of a depressed man beating himself on the pavement. Oh yeah, I fancy a coffee now. No, I don't.
I don't want to be like that.
I think I need to call my mum.
I don't want to be like that man, so I'm going to go into that shop that's projecting the image of that man.
That's a wide berth.
All right, okay, fine.
That's like avoiding a mental person on the street.
Listen, with the pint one, maybe it's more appropriate for the pints because you can have two holograms of two clearly hologramic men having a bang. Hologram eyes.
Please.
Having an amazing
vernacular, Charlie. This is a podcast. You're not just talking to yourself in the bathroom.
Having an amazing time on the street, chatting, hugging, opening up, and they're having pints, but they're obviously holograms. That would be like, I'm going to go in there and make a friend.
Is it blocking the footpath?
It's like sort of Star Wars Princess Leia style.
People just like not wanting, can I walk through this group of friends having a good time? Where is this being projected from? It was like, it's like when people see new technology for the first time. They don't know what to, like when people thought that train was coming out into
early cinema.
It's not as realistic as ABBA with like Lars and those guys.
Right.
It's like Star Wars sort of quality. So it's clearly a hologram, but it's very striking and eye-catching.
Nah.
You don't like that?
Not for me. I mean, the obvious answer to that question is because, the technology isn't there and it's very expensive.
Could be. You've got to dare to dream, Andrew.
I think it is there.
Why? Yeah, but the pub industry,
they should do more of this stuff.
Like that in the street would go off.
Well, that should just be in a pub. There should just be like, I don't know.
Why do you both have such a desire to have holograms everywhere?
It's a good vibe.
There's just not enough of it.
Is it a good vibe?
It's just, it's only ABBA doing it.
I don't want a hologram
spaceship.
Call me...
No, because it's not a pub.
Call me a Luddite.
Right, not a pub. It's a novelty bar.
That's fine. A hologram where...
Or like a kind of pop-up bar. It's only been there for 2 years.
It could be a branch of Madame Tussauds where there's a bar and they hologram celebrities.
You've always got to tart it up. They
hologram celebrities into the bar, so you're like drinking with John Hamm.
Okay, you've taught me round.
Yeah, have a whiskey with John Hamm, like you're in Mad Men.
But then also Madame Tussauds, the waxworks. You probably want to keep it waxworky.
This is a subsidiary.
Right.
It's the bar by Madame Tussauds, and it's John. You can have a whiskey with John Hamm. You can have a pint with
Tussauds
Jeremy Clarkson.
Poster.
You can
Madame
have
Tussauds tube poster.
Tube.
Because I think this is one of the most depressing posters. I think it's this one. Yeah.
Come give a celebrity a hug.
It's not that. It's not that one.
Sad enough.
It's just the advertising of Madame Tussauds is waxworks celebrities.
It's the bleakest place on earth.
But then it's just like you and your friend, like you're in the club.
It's awful thing.
Yeah.
Don't think it should exist.
Well, you think we should close Madame Tussauds?
Yeah. I think I'd run on that policy. I just think it's not doing society any good.
Yeah.
I think it has a negative impact on society.
Yeah.
I speak as someone who's been and had an awful time.
You had a terrible time there.
Yeah.
Are you happy to recount the trauma?
Yeah, it was when it was a fairly quick after the divorce. Dad was like, "We'll have a fun day out in London."
Brilliant. This is so classic post-divorce dad. Post-divorce dad.
Let's go to London.
They slowly get their shit together, but for 4 years they're in free fall.
His emotion.
What do people do?
Oh God, yeah. Things to do with kids. How to cook bolognese.
How to wash pants.
How to not show kids crying. So he was like, let's go have a fun day out in London. And I went with me and Melissa. And
he's typed in top 10 things to do in London.
Okay. Number one, quick, bosh. And then we went for a nice meal, and it was a surprise. And
how nice was the meal?
Like a 6. And then he was like, it was a surprise, so he was going to reveal it at the meal. And I was like mid-burger. And he was like,
"Were you having a good time at this point?"
Yeah,
fine.
This time I was like, "Right, what we getting up to, fellas? What trouble?
Mouthful of cow.
What trouble are we getting into today, then, Bill?" And he was like, "We're going to Madame Tussauds," and I went, "For fuck's sake!" I immediately went, "Oh my God!" And I went to them because it was one of those where often family stuff. You might not be wanting to do what you necessarily want to do, but you can hide it and push through it, right? That's kind of what families are.
Yeah.
But this time I was like, I'm really sorry. I am disappointed in what's happening. I'm not going to be able to hide it. I was like, I don't want to take any...
But you were up front with that?
I was up front. I was like, I'm going to have to address this. I was like, I don't want to take any pictures. I don't want to take a single picture of anyone.
Who was your favourite if you were pushed?
Well, thanks for asking, Horatio. Yeah. It's really kind of you to ask. It was probably Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
It was the only thing I think I got some joy from was there's a picture of Bill Kerwin squatting with his arms round Tiger Woods as if he was helping him line up the putt.
That's good fun. Did you take the photo?
I think Melissa probably took the photo.
Right.
I was still probably like...
Did you not get any photos there?
Me? No.
Yeah, so that was a big
I don't want a paper trail.
It's a shame because a photo of you at Madame Tussauds now, you probably like that.
I would like it.
Yeah, to be fair.
But you don't have that kind of foresight.
You don't have that sort of
You don't.
foresight.
You think you're going to be embarrassed about. Look, this is the age where I said that that flicky haircut was I'm going to have it forever.
Yeah.
So I clearly wasn't working on firing on all of my cylinders. But yeah, that's good. So have you? I'll do a quick two. I've been recognised twice this week, and both of them were quite embarrassing. Well, when we finished this podcast and I went to go see a friend, it's happened before, and it is fun when it happens. Is I was on the train and the person sitting opposite me tapped me and then showed me his phone, and he was listening to an episode of Boys Gone Wild. That's always good. That's great. The problem is that I was then sat opposite him for the rest of the 20-minute train ride. Not a single laugh, not a smile, just kind of stoically looking at the floor. And I was like, mate, I'm right in front of you. You got to give me something.
Give me something.
And look, if you're listening, you fucked up. But
I mean, I guess, look, often you're not, if you're listening on your own, you might not laugh out loud.
Of course.
Even if you find it entertaining.
Maybe
I'm not laughing on the tube when I'm listening to a comedy podcast.
No.
But if I was in front of the person who made it, it is rude.
It's rude. You've got to put something
some compliments to the chef.
Yeah, just a doff of the cap.
Are you listening to it because you think it's so embarrassing?
Just like, fucking hell.
That's what I'll be doing. Yeah.
Just wincing at it.
No, what I would do is, and they go to a stranger, this. And then they both go,
and then point at me. That's that one. Horrible little boy. So that was one. The other one was
the wait on the tube with someone who's recognised you. That's pretty. I still don't really know what the correct.
It's thanks very much, mate. Have a good one. Headphones back in.
Yeah, or you go, thanks, mate, and whatever stop it is, you pretend it's yours. See you, mate.
And then run off, run further down the platform, and then get on another carriage where they can clearly see you. Looking panicked as well. Is that or that? It's one or the other. That's a good one. I like to do that one too. But no, when you're directly opposite someone and you know that he's listening to it, you're like, come on, you got to give a bit of stank on.
Yeah.
You got to give me, but like pop a smile every now and again. He was a very cool gentleman though.
Oh,
so that was
handsome.
Nice. Yeah, handsome devil.
Want.
The other one, it was a time when I really didn't want to get recognised. I was like, I just hope this doesn't happen on this journey.
Slapping your girl about.
Pissing on my leg. In the street. I was like, Christ. I hope no one recognises me. No, it was. And I'm trying to work out how to reveal this. But on this journey, I was like, I really hope I don't get recognised. And I'll tell you why in a bit.
Right.
But Elle has recently moved, and there's a Tesco near her house, which is slightly closer to the Tesco near my house. It's en route, right? Yeah, the maths is quite simple. You don't need to be giving it. What? The Tesco is nearer to her house.
Yeah.
Then my Tesco is nearer to my house.
Fine.
Therefore, it's pertinent for me to use her Tesco, which also means I'll be carrying whatever I've bought at that Tesco on the tube. So during that tube journey, I hope I didn't get recognised, which I did, because I was carrying a Charlie Bingham tikka masala for two. Which is, I think, given the quantity of which we talk about it, for someone who listens to the podcast to see me in the wild for probably the first and only time carrying a Charlie Bingham tikka masala for two with pilau rice, I think is a very compromising position to be in.
Do you think
it implies that it's literally all I eat?
But is it sort of like kind of like the Wizard of Oz? You know, you see the man behind it, and all of the aura evaporates.
It's like, that's actually really quite sad. Oh, he really actually does love Charlie Bingham as much as he was saying.
The problem is with all these, we talk so much about, we give people so much brand awareness without getting paid for it.
It's true.
Like we give so much free advertising.
Yeah.
Like Bingham, just give us a fucking deal.
Give us a deal, Bingham.
We've probably sold a lot of people.
I think we genuinely have.
People are going to be in the shop and be like, yeah, fuck it,
yeah,
I'll
why
have a
not?
Bingham.
Yeah. Apparently it's great and it's worth it,
And we're just giving them that.
Giving them it for free. I know, but unless we know, we should email Charlie Bingham's people, but it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was just very embarrassing. I think.
But you've been really hitting the Binghams hard recently, haven't you?
Yeah, it's just it's just easy, isn't it?
Do they have anything? So there's fish pie Bingham, there's lasagna Bingham, and there's tikka masala. What I like about Bingham is it is often Bingham. Bigham. Fucking hell.
It's a nightmare.
Big ham. What I like about Big Ham.
Yeah.
And you can say this about a lot of places. You know, often the classier the joint, the smaller the menu. You know, do a few things well.
Yeah, right? You're damn right.
Yeah. And that's what I like about Bigham. He's not overstretching.
No, he's not bringing in chow mein. He's not adding a bourguignon.
But he's probably working in the lab with his many.
There'll be something next.
Yeah, and he's probably tried out a lot of variations of chow mein.
Well, he's
tried it and gone again.
Spit it out. It's probably delicious. It's probably goddamn delicious, but
He's
it's
perfectionist.
not good enough for Bigham, is it? Go on, Chaz.
I think he might be due a paella. I think that might be the
That would be
next
good.
thing.
Bigham paella.
Yeah, paella. Yeah, okay. I can fuck with that.
I would like him to maybe be a bit more controversial, get him more in the news cycle. Jerk chicken, right? Because this is obviously going to be a white man doing jerk chicken. I just want to see him maybe crack jerk chicken to the point where
Better than the Jamaicans.
where he gets like he gets like an honorary position.
That's always your dream, isn't it? A white man to do it better.
I just want Bigham to be like an honorary
Jamaican.
He gets a statue in Jamaica.
Kind of the opposite of us. Yeah, I don't because he's kept it very classic British, hasn't he? I know lasagna isn't, but lasagna, fish pie, tikka masala.
Yeah,
like what's another English? Well, you can do a fish and chips.
Yeah,
but chips,
you can't. Do
chips are the kryptonite of the ready meal.
Yep.
You heard what I said.
But you can have a different forms of potato, a wetter potato, one that doesn't rely on being crispy.
A wet potato? Fish and wet potatoes, please. What's for tea, Mum? Fish and wet potatoes. Again?
No, a wetter potato.
Dauphinois.
It's a relative.
Dauphinois.
Yeah.
A fun thing in the news.
What's that? What's that green one?
What's that green one?
Hold up. Is there a new...
Avocado. Scroll in, zoom in.
What's
Chicken and Genovese basil
pesto.
pesto.
There is a paella.
There's a paella.
There's a Breton chicken.
I'm not seeing these. There's a Breton chicken. Type in full list of Bigham.
Tuscan pork rigatoni. Thai
Penang chicken.
Steak and red wine casserole. With mashed
potato.
With mashed potato.
What is going on? Hold on. All available only at Ocado.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, we don't know.
No, the paella is at Waitrose. That is...
Scroll down.
We're never going to have to cook again. This is astonishing news. No.
Sicilian chicken.
Hold on, let's just quickly bash in. Fish pie, lasagna, tikka masala.
That's what we know.
I like that they're the top three because that makes me feel like we're not going fucking mad.
Well, it's ready salted cheese and onion, salt and vinegar. It's the three.
By the way, your theory about the less is more is absolutely out the window. He's doing too much. Thai curries, including Thai green curry, Thai red curry, and Thai Penang chicken curry. Cottage pie, macaroni cheese, Tuscan pork ragu with rigatoni, Calabrian chicken and roasted potatoes, moussaka, paella, Breton chicken, meatballs al forno, salmon parmentier, I can't even pronounce that one, Sicilian chicken and roasted potatoes.
Wow. Well, it's almost too much information to do.
We're gonna have to do a Bigham run. We're gonna have to try them all.
We're going to sit, yeah.
That is astonishing news.
I guess
I want to try all of them.
Yeah, there's only... Well, fucking hell, I need to watch some more Bigham content because he's really...
Jesus, that's absolutely throwing me for six, that.
I do think Bigham should be announcing the new
a bit like
ready
Translate.
meals. No, he should be doing it like Steve Jobs would announce the new iPhone.
Black turtleneck.
So we looked at the data.
We've done something a bit different with the Sagaloo for two. That's all he's got. That's all he's got. Because he makes ready meals. He's not a fucking tech entrepreneur.
I'll tell you what would be great. He does all that and he goes, what's brilliant about the chicken jalfrezi is it fits in your pocket. And then he it doesn't.
It doesn't. Or he's just got the biggest pocket. Whips it out.
To be honest, pocket curry. Now that's an interesting variation.
Why is that interesting?
Because at any moment you can whip out.
No, you can't. Okay, if you're going to have you're going to have a microwave in there as well then. Okay, because
well, that's what the other pocket's for.
That's what the other pocket. But then you're going no. Think about it, Horatio. You're then going to have to what do you call it? Depackage it, put it on a microwavable dish, and then move it to your other pocket. How's that working? It kind of takes away the sting.
Microwavable dish in the back pocket. Like obviously the big trousers.
Big trousers.
It's got a big unit on one. I
suppose I was going to ask when would you need this? A long train journey. But then I'm not sure, because it's a bad enough thing to whip out like a fish sandwich in a train.
Yeah.
Imagine you're whipping out a Sagaloo for two in your microwave.
Or you kind of have sort of like, there's the vacuum between double glazing. What?
There's Bigham puddings.
Fucking hell.
Sticky toffee pudding, molten chocolate pudding, cherry bakewell, and bread and butter. That's it. There might be more. No, we're not going to do any more in Bigham. We just can't.
We can't give him
We've done
any more.
enough. We've done enough. But he's doing. That's astonishing. He's doing. I had no idea about the breadth
And also,
of his
we
arsenal.
spoke ages about Bigham, and no one corrected.
No one's
the amount of
messaging.
fucking actuallys in our comments.
He launched proper puds in 2020. It's 5 years later.
It's literally a month before lockdown.
Yeah. Oh, what? Oh, cash cow.
Do you feel kind of betrayed, or what is your
I'm
emotion?
not annoyed at Bingham. I'm annoyed at Tesco.
I'm annoyed at Mike. Yeah.
Right.
I'm annoyed at Tesco and Sainsbury's. I think Bigham is probably, it's a middle class thing, isn't it, really? So it's going to be in your Ricardos. It's going to be in your Waitrose.
Right.
I'm not sure it's going to be in your Tesco's.
Right.
Which is a shame, even though Tesco's can be. I don't know.
But I do feel the supermarkets, the kind of the big four, what's on the playlist is sort of like, it's a big deal. What is regularly available?
It's the hot or not.
Because we only shop at, because we're in London, we only shop at small supermarkets.
Yeah.
That do often take the piss. It's not ideal.
Yep.
Right. So we're quite tied up with our choices.
Yeah.
Right. And I do think it's a big decision, much like when Radio 1 was more relevant, they'd have a big council to decide what they're going to play, because you're a driving engine of culture.
Yeah.
That should be a huge, what's on the curriculum, you know, of Mice and Men.
Yeah.
A whole generation know the
Mice and
story
Men.
of Mice and
Sagaloo for two. A View from the Bridge.
Go on, come on, just
Meatball Alforno. I was trying to think of a new one, but I don't know them. That's a problem. I've only just learned they've existed.
So it's a big decision. I want to know who's there, and I want to see him, and I want him to have a public face. I don't like this sort of shady corporateness of it. It should be voted in.
Lord of the Flies, Cherry Bakewell.
You've been thinking about that the whole time.
I wasn't listening to a word he was saying. Absolutely none of it.
Yeah, because that's a big deal.
It is a big deal. So what would you like to...
I don't know.
How
It's
would
just
you... If we paid you £100,000...
What I eat on a day-to-day basis is so dictated by what's fucking...
It's kind of true and it's kind of not.
My tiny Sainsbury's.
Is it?
Yeah.
How much? I'd say this is only really when you're doing ready meals, because otherwise it's about the breadth of ingredients available.
Yeah, well, that's the same.
Yeah, I guess
that's built into what I'm saying.
But because there's so much, I think you get most of it from a supermarket, but then you've also got your Asian supermarkets. They're everywhere, and that's
Everywhere?
everywhere.
Where's the nearest one to here?
Well, there's one right by the Tesco in Mile End. There's two.
Asian supermarket?
Yeah, they look like offies, but they're actually not. You go in and you can buy anything.
Chinese Asian?
Yeah. There's one
But
there's
they're
one
primarily
that's
Chinese Asian.
Bangladeshi, but there's a Chinese
be honest,
Asian one. But you can get a lot of Asian stuff from them.
With like the Indian, Bangladeshi Asian ones, it's like we've got that shit covered a bit.
But they do a lot of Chinese stuff in there as well.
Right,
You'd be surprised.
Anyway,
So,
you got something else for me?
A piece of news.
Go on.
So they lived too large for themselves. They are very much Icarus,
Right.
but they were the biggest four that the world has ever seen.
Go on.
Maybe the most influential people that society will ever come across.
Right.
But the Impractical Jokers are falling off.
Oh, yes, I want to talk about this, yeah.
So, big news in the Impractical Joker world. It has come to light.
Yeah.
There are fresh off the pan allegations
Yeah.
that Joe and Mur have both...
And Mur.
Joe is the big one, but Joe has been accused of sexual assault allegations.
So
Now,
not harassment,
not harassment,
assault.
sexual assault.
Right.
Mur, and this is all conjecture, by the way. I'm just going to say that now, and then we're going to do the rest of it as if it's
Yeah.
true. Mur has also had some allegations for himself.
Right.
Now, I don't remember watching that episode of Impractical Jokers. hey, Mur, groom that kid. Ah! Hey, Joe, go and touch that young girl. Ah!
Wait, is it pedo stuff or?
I don't know. Maybe
I
not.
think
Maybe
he's,
not pedo
to me,
stuff. Maybe
strikes
not.
because of. I'm sorry to say, because of his Italian heritage.
Wow.
I think it's less.
You think it's more?
It's more-
Appoggia tutti. Appoggia tutti. That's pinch the tit in Italian. I learned that from my Translate app.
Yeah, a Mediterranean hello.
Hello.
Rape. Christ, sorry.
The Mediterranean hello.
Oh, little miss put it in the vagina.
What?
I only put it in the vagina.
It's, Gino De Campo, once again, it's cultural. We need to stop.
Hey!
Come on!
I put it in the vagina.
I know, son, but there you go. It was his mum all along. No one expected that. So Joe left the show scandalously. Everyone, Joe was kind of the lifeblood. I mean,
must have been in his death throes in Practical Jokers when he left the show. Oh, is it? Wait,
It's never really been.
What? Did he leave the show? The recent leaving?
No,
he'd done it before, right?
Wait. So Joe had left the show a couple of years ago, but that was because, so I think he was going through a divorce, and I think this was kind of part of the reason for it. So it was only now coming out. He left the show. Everyone was a bit like, why is Joe leaving?
Yeah.
It was because of the divorce, and now he's focusing on his own thing or whatever. Yeah. But it's now coming out. The claim is
focusing on his own thing, focusing on messaging young girls.
It is.
She's taken a step back to focus
to sexually assault 19-year-olds. Sorry,
to concentrate on other projects.
I'm just trying to get my head together and focus on where I want to be in my career, which is raping 15-year-olds. So, the allegations against Joe are that a woman has claimed that Gatto sexually assaulted her when she was 19.
Sorry, once again, thing with Italians, their surnames, it sounds like a pudding, a gatto.
It's true. A Forrest Gatto.
Well, vanilla gatto.
Joe Forrest Gatto sexually assaulted Tina Tiramisu. Yeah. The woman, wait, scroll up. The woman alleged that she met Gatto whilst he was performing in Milwaukee. She claimed that they had been messaging on Instagram before and after his show. She said Gatto's text started to get a little weird, and then he invited her to his hotel room where the alleged assault occurred. The alleged victim also posted photos with the True TV star and apparent screenshots of their text message conversations. After the videos went viral, Gatto denied the claims. Quote, I have used poor judgment and as a result have violated the trust of people I love most. But anyone who knows me at all knows full well that I wouldn't assault anyone.
Right, fair enough.
All right. Let's take his word for it. I'm with Joe.
Working on myself is an ongoing process. I'm now going to take some time away from the public eye to focus my energies where I need to. But we don't know where those energies are going. They could be just be going straight back into
rape. Now, I think, look, it's a really tough day for the world.
Right.
All of this stuff.
Yeah.
Because, DeCampo, fine.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, we saw it coming. It's like, he's a TV host. There's a bit of slime in there anyway. I think it's a dark, dark thing for the world to have to come to terms with that the Impractical Jokers are out there molesting. It was like they were like a source of, pure, unadulterated, just joy. Their whole thing was we're not taking ourselves too seriously. They weren't like serious comedians in many ways. They're just going out having fun with their mates.
I guess it's a bad day to be a goofster, right? The goofball community.
The good people are going, we've lost a good one.
It's hard to remain goofy in such serious times.
It is.
And when, one of the most popular goofters, numbers wise in the world is seen to be less goofy behind the scenes, it starts to undermine
the opposite goofy.
Other goofers who maybe
like, what are you doing?
You claim, I'm harmless. Well, maybe you're not.
Well, maybe you're not. You claim to be goofing around, but we'd like to see your laptop.
Because that's gonna be the Practical Jokers.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a rebrand.
They're going around and I don't know, fixing shelves. But they're just doing it well.
Really helpful.
Just being helpful.
Just be random acts of kindness.
What about that? What about going out and being horrible to people in the world? Making them feel uncomfortable. Why don't you just go and fix people's problems?
Yeah, making people feel really comfortable.
Yeah, the comfortable japesters. That's the show we need in this world at the moment.
Right, let's go Impractical Jokers cruise. Now, this is another aspect to their bizarre
shit's coming out on that.
And I didn't know you could kind of have that sort of fame where you could have your own
cruise.
It's a type of fame, certainly.
Yeah.
So yeah, they had their own cruise, which is like you could perform. There's lots of comedy events and stuff, but there's also a cruise. There's no real proper escape routes.
It would be absolutely horrible. It would be middle-aged people running around shouting their catchphrases.
Eric Andre.
Yeah.
Fuck me.
Ship-faced.
That's big.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's. So
you
it's
see
sort
how
of
Joe ain't on that logo there.
Yeah.
Well, what they had to do, because when Joe left, they had to like get guest stars on every episode.
Wait, so did Joe leave a while ago?
Yeah.
Was it to do with the molesting?
It seems so. Now
so
it's Joe left it's all coming out, which makes it even more seedy,
But Merv, are you saying Merv?
I'm saying type in Mer. I heard Mer. I don't know if it was wrong. I heard it from Adam.
Also, thoughts on the first name Merv?
Mer. No, that's his second name. And it's Murr.
Right, fine.
His name's James Murray.
Fine.
So I have no thoughts on that.
Right, fair enough.
James Murray accused. There you go. Accused of sending inappropriate messages to minor. They're all going young as well.
Yeah.
The problem is that young people. That's the worst thing about that. Young people love it.
All right. What are you going to say? Sexy.
The problem is young women are fit. No, the problem is that young people love them with their they're silly and jovial. It was like and then they've ruined it. They've absolutely ruined it.
Sort of like
50% of them have now been accused of sexual. 50%. One of them's definitely true.
Yeah,
I'm sure the Joe one is true.
They're the modern day Beatles.
They're the modern day Beatles. It's like, where do we go from here?
As the Beatles.
Where do we
the four Impractical Jokers?
It could be Joe's big comeback.
Who do you think of the? Because you know them better than me. But who do you think who's Lennon? Who's McCartney? Who's Ringo?
Give me 5 minutes. Wait, hold on. I was just trying to remember them all. So oddly, in a weird way. Wait, hold on. Okay, well, so in one message, Murray reportedly wrote, "Haha, you're awesome. Once you turn 18, email me the same question and I'll be happy to answer."
But what was the question?
When the girl teased him about staying single until she came of age, he allegedly replied, "I'll do my best, promise." Isn't he married?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Yeah, it's not good. But once again, you know, an Italian to their, and you're going to be a heartbreaker. You know, that's kind of like.
I don't think Murr's Italian.
Well, then that is disgusting.
Absolutely despicable.
Murray's probably a Scottish
It's Boys
surname.
Gone Wild official take. Anyone, you can sexually assault if you're Italian, man.
Well, it's cultural relativism, right?
Right. It's about not judging.
Yeah, well, it's just other people have different customs.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely. But, okay, I would say that... Oddly, it's an odd one.
That's why Schofield, it was a much bigger deal than De Campo, because, you know...
Yeah. Okay, I know for sure that Q is Ringo Starr.
Right.
Oddly,
go on.
Which is going to be a controversial one, but I'm saying Murr is Lennon.
Right, I did not see that coming at all.
Murr is Lennon.
The Lennon of the group.
The Lennon of the group. And
because he's the
Sal,
the Maverick.
Sal is Paul.
Right. And Joe then is
and
George.
Joe is George.
Right.
And that's correct.
Right. Okay.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. So Sal is Paul. Right.
I've forgotten what I just said.
Yeah, Sal's Paul.
Sal is Paul.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Murr is quietly the man behind the group. You know,
right.
he's the real.
That's who Paul would be.
I don't know. Yeah, I guess so. No, it just makes sense. I don't want to justify it. You don't know them. You don't fucking know them, mate.
Now, was there a British Impractical Jokers?
There was. Yeah, I don't think it did very well.
No. But yeah,
it's a dark day.
How many seasons did they get of Impractical Jokers?
There should I don't know, 20 odd. It was mad.
Right.
It was
an empire. It was an empire.
Yeah. There's going to be a doc on it when the laughter stopped.
Now, yeah. Do you think so? Someone like Joe, who's the one who got accused? You built a huge empire. You've spent your whole life making millions of pounds laughing with your friends.
Yeah.
Is he gonna die unhappy because of these allegations?
Yeah.
He's going to be able to get over it, or is it all his memories sort of quite deeply besmirched by his
I think besmirched. I don't think you can rollick around having that much fun and then now everyone knows you. Look, like, because he's got one of his face was so endearing and he was like this sweet little funny weirdo.
Right.
And now you look at this face and you're like, that's a horrible man. Do you know what I mean? It's gone from immediately like, oh, isn't he fun and sweet and kooky? To,
that's a horrid
I
man.
don't want him near me.
That's a horrible
That's a horrible, rancid little man.
Yeah.
Just that, well, you know, one act.
His legacy's in tatters. Yeah.
And it was a big one.
Fucking hell.
It's a dark day.
The bigger they are, the harder they fall.
Exactly. It's a dark day for comedy. You know, no more Impractical joking. Get him off. Get him off the box.
Pack up.
I don't remember that episode. Q in the ear to Mo. Go on, message her. Now tell her you want to see her tits. Now wait until she's 18, all right? Yeah, but they're off. Look at him.
Some episodes of the show were removed. Is that because
he's what? Doing it in the show. Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Right,
how the mighty
hell.
have fallen. Sad day.
Game Boy?
Yeah, let's do that. Type in Game Boy, Charlie, and I think it might actually come up. But it's worth noting, really. Maybe it wouldn't come. News. Oh, fuck. Type in Game Boy politician. So there's a US politician that's been doing the rounds, and it is fucking amazing. But so he's been caught by this video, this vlogger guy who is questioning him aggressively about something. We'll see in a minute. But it's I've never heard a politician give such an amazing response.
Right.
It is the perfect response I've ever heard.
Do you trust Trump's national security team to keep our war plans top secret?
You trust your mother every night to fix your hot pockets.
He walks up.
Wait. Play that again.
Play it again.
Sorry, that was already.
Pause it. It's just like they just do it differently in America. This is the one kind of good thing about this Trump administration is you're getting shit like this.
Yeah,
it's like kind of
he looks like a fucking loser.
I know. Hardcore, just like responses and fuck yous are back in the mix, and it's a bit of fun.
Yeah.
Do you trust Trump's national security team to keep our war plans top secret?
Do you trust your mother every night to fix your hot pockets and make sure your Game Boy is turned on?
Oh! How fucking good is that?
Fucked. He was completely.
Do you trust your mother every night to make your hot pockets and make sure your Game Boy's turned
But
on?
also,
fuck off, mate.
Yeah, but that was not pre-prepared. That came straight from the dome. No one's ever said that before. That's not a thing that people say.
It feels pre-prepared because it's so good.
I think it could have been fucked, but he just landed it perfectly.
It's just
he triple flipped and then
at the very end, if you watch the end, the kid hasn't got a clue what to say, so he just walks off. Just go back and watch the kid.
That's awesome.
Do you trust your mother to cook you hot pockets and make sure your Game Boy's turned on every night?
Harry, do you trust Trump's national security team to keep
Lets him
our
finish.
war plans top secret?
Do you trust your mother every night to fix your hot pockets and make sure your Game Boy is turned on?
And
he's got nothing to say. This is the only look because what's interesting about this because the coverage hasn't been that negative about it because I think the world has gone fair fucking play. Like he's just absolutely annihilated him. So I haven't seen the left being like, this is ridiculous to talk to a person like that. It's more everyone's being like, holy shit, he just absolutely murked him.
You want a bit of that back in politics because the politicians kind of it's like it doesn't fill you with confidence.
It doesn't. That guy, fair enough, run the fucking country, mate. Because he's going to be doing that to Putin in the UN. He's going to be fucking mugging.
Do you
trust your mother to fix your hot pockets and turn your Game Boy on every night? Off. Bosh.
One
no
thing
more
that would
questions asked.
take away from that is if you then realise that that's his response to every question.
Yeah.
So it looks great.
So then he's actually in the Senate. And it's like, yeah, but how are we going to fix... How are we going to fix Medicaid and all the issues around that? Do you fix your mother? Do you trust your mother to fix your Game Boy?
Oh, it's a psychological
it's all
condition.
He can say.
Right.
Oh, that's the only thing he can say. He's completely lost.
No, it's like a congressional hearing. He's being grilled.
He's kind of Mitch McConnell.
Do you trust your mother?
Yeah. How do you plead to the charge that you've been embezzling funds? Do you trust your mother to fix your hot pockets and turn your Game Boy on every night?
It doesn't even make sense, lad.
I mean, but come on. Like, what a fucking... It's one of the best responses I've ever heard to anything.
Yeah.
Just a fuck... It's just a fuck you.
And it's also a guy in an anorak with a fucking, Because you always... Being one of those guys asking those sort of questions to politicians, you're already in a good position in a way.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to get battered away.
Yeah.
And you're very rarely put in your place.
And often because of the camera, people are scared about what they're going to say. They're going to be too polite. Not this guy. But he's kept it polite. He's just called him a fucking nerd.
All he did, he punted him off the sidewalk.
It's just literally, yeah. just drop kicked him. There's nothing left of the guy.
He's literally out of the park.
Oh, it's just because he lets him finish the question. Because often with those...
He let the ball come down, bounces.
He's waiting to a perfect iron splosh home run.
Leans back.
Out of the park. That guy has been blasted. It's fucking brilliant. Because as well, with these... I mean, he's probably not a proper journalist, is he? But they, when they're like a club...
Well, no, he's on his Game Boy. He's eating like he's a fucking loser.
He is. He's wanking at home by himself. But he's got... they do approach politicians in a very aggressive way. I mean, hold truth to power and all of that, whatever.
Yeah.
But maybe they do have a right to clap back.
100%.
I mean, if you're coming at me like that, bosh, there you go, take that.
I think
he hasn't responded.
Celebrities have a right to clap. There's always this thing about
100% celebrities.
Yeah, if you're going to be a fucking weirdo saying odd things, then you can say you're a fucking loser. Fuck off.
Yeah.
Like you should be allowed to say that, and it shouldn't be this big PR thing.
Celebrities definitely. Politicians, there's a different kind of line to it.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy said absolutely nothing of substance.
No.
Doesn't matter.
He wriggled out.
Yeah. But I mean, instead of avoiding the question, just call the other one a fucking incel. Just call every reporter a little fucking mug, and that's it. Because they don't know what to say to that. One more time.
Yeah, one more time. Let's see ourselves.
Trust your mother?
Should we see out the episode with one more play?
Do you trust your mother? I love it. It's just so quick and so perfect. Do you trust your mother?
Right.
Go on.
Thanks so much for listening, guys.
Congressman Harry, do you trust Trump's national security team to keep our war plans top secret?
Do you trust your mother every night to fix your hot pockets and make sure your Game Boy is turned on.
Bosh! It is off the cuff as well because it's a perfect response because he said, "Do you trust?" and his opening was, "Do you trust?" So it is off the cuff.
Yeah.
The guy's get him on the show. The guy's a fucking genius.
We'll see you next week, guys. See you on the Patreon. Bye-bye.